Our today's lecture will be about using teaching aids. Using teaching aids in the classroom. Let's see this picture. What do you see? There are some aids. You will see a book, you will see some grapes, you see a pencil, you will see different charts. Okay, what are teaching aids? Teaching aids are integral components in any classroom, any instruments that can help the teacher accomplish his duty in the class. Look at this slide. We remember 20% of what we hear. We remember 30% of what we see. We remember 50% of what we see and hear. We remember 90% of what we say and do. I hear, I forget. I see, I remember. I do, I understand. So teaching aids are very important for learning. While using teaching aids, you will learn more, you will comprehend more, you understand more and more. What are about the characteristics of a good teaching aid? Number one, relevance. Your teaching aid should be relevant to the title of your lesson. Appropriateness. The teaching aid should be appropriate for the age of your student, the resources in the class, the features of your classroom, the social status of your students, and so on. Attractiveness. The teaching aid should be attractive, should be visible for students, should be varied. You should use different kinds of teaching aids along your own teaching. You will use different ones. You should use sometimes course, sometimes data shows, sometimes the charts, some drawings on the board, different kinds of teaching aids. Also, your teaching aids should do what? Should enhance the students' interactivity and participation by giving the pupil opportunity to be active participants instead of only passive listeners. Your teaching aids will be a base for discussion. You will discuss with your students concerning your visual aid or teaching aid. Reinforce your message. It should help you teach it should explain an abstract idea, show a relationship, present information or procedure that can't be clarified without it. It should clarify your own lesson, should help you make your students understand the lesson well. Should be large enough, great. You shouldn't use small course, for example, while illustrating some pictures for your students. You should use large ones in order to make them all see what you are explaining. Lettering large enough, okay. Avoid decoration. Lettering large enough. Avoid decoration. Also, the words you are writing on the card should be visible for students, and avoid overuse of decoration, overuse of colors. Important parts highlighted, surely. Constructed of good materials. As I explained in the lecture, your teaching aid should be economic. How it's economic? It should be constructed of good materials in order not to be damaged quickly. It should be mounted to make it portable, should be easy to carry. They create a visual and interactive experience for students. As I mentioned before, it will be a base for discussion. Students become more engaged. They are more likely to understand the topic being taught. What we mean by more engaged? More engagement, there will be more communication, more interaction, more dialogues, okay? More conversations based on the teaching aid itself. Promote interaction, promote faster learning and better comprehension. Being able to see, hear, or get involved in a topic creates a much better method for learning. Differentiating instruction. As I mentioned before, here, differentiating instruction means while using different kinds of teaching aids, you will meet all your students' learning styles, and ask you to search for learning styles. And next time I'll ask one of you to tell me what are the learning styles, and also classify yourself as I asked you. Classify yourself if you are a visual one, audible one, or what are the kinds of learning styles you learned, you found while searching using internet. Teaching aids are improving the quality of education in today's schools. Look at this. It's a clock. It's a hands-on clock. Okay, you can do it yourself. You can ask your students to do it themselves in order to teach them how to use numbers, or in order to tell them how to know timing using the clock here. As an activity, look at your book page 67. Try to find as many benefits as you can rather than what have been mentioned in the presentation. Activity 2. Find the difference between media, capital M, and media, small m, in chapter 4. Tell me what's the difference between them. Activity 3. A term called digital natives is mentioned in the chapter. What do you think it means? Look at this. Role of visuals. A focus of attention. Change of pace. Simplified explanation to help understanding. More vivid and lasting impression. Consolidation of learning. Reference material for later use. Help in relating or transferring learning to the. What about the instructions for best use of visual? Number 1. Decide what we require of visual aids. Plan the visual aid carefully. Don't obstruct the view of audience. Visual must be well placed. Don't read the visual word by word to the audience. Don't wave a pointer in front of the visual. Don't talk to the visual. What about visibility? It should be visible. Use color. Should be visible. Use motions. Should be attractive. What else? What about the bad practices? Don't keep an image displayed for more than 10 minutes. It's boring. If you keep it for more than 10 minutes, it's very boring for students. Don't use cartoons or other cute additions to your presentation unless it's appropriate for your audience. Overuse of fonts, overuse of colors. What about controlling your voice? As I told you, the teacher himself is a teaching aid. You can use all your tools. What are your tools as a teacher? Your gestures, your body language, okay? Also your voice. How can your voice help you while teaching? Controlling your voice. Voice quality. Is your voice easy to understand? Clarity and articulation. Avoid contraction. Try to be clear. Try to speak in full form. Rate of speech. Pitch. Avoid fillers. Should be not high, not low. Pitch is used to describe how deep or high your voice is. Volume describes how loud your voice is. Take care. from page 77 to 81 cancelled, to the importance of visuals in second language acquisition. That's all for today. Thanks for listening. See you. Goodbye.